Rodney. Thanks for clicking on my video. Well, I'm getting tired of everybody being blamed, or actually Bush being blamed for everything that's going wrong. Well, let me give you a little illustration. Okay, do your own research first of all. Okay, George Bush was borrowing $1.4 billion per day. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Okay, so he's out of office, so we get a new president, and this guy's blaming all his problems that he's having on this guy. Because the economy is in the tank. Oh, we're in desperate straits. We got to do this. We got to do that. We got to do the other thing. All this coming from a guy who's never even had a popsicle stand. All of his cabinet, not one of them has ever been in business. Now we got one guy in his cabinet, I think, that's been in business. Bush borrowed $1.4 billion a day. Now let's forget about politics for a second, and let's talk about you. Let's say that you're married, okay, and you can't quite make ends meet, so you or your spouse borrow from the next door neighbor $14 per day to make ends meet, or you borrow it from your relatives, you borrow it from your cousin, you borrow it from your mom, you borrow from whoever. You borrow $14 a day so that you can continue your lifestyle. Now, in the United States right now, poor, you know what poor people, we get the fattest poor people in the world, like, I'm sure. You know what's defined as poor now? You know what poor people have in this country? Air conditioning, big screen TVs, Xboxes. You know what? How much of that stuff I got? Zero. I don't have a big screen TV. I don't have an air conditioner. I don't have Xboxes or anything. That's what they have. A friend of mine at the coffee shop the other day was telling me that he was taking these kids, because these poor kids, to the thrift store to buy them some clothes and stuff. And he was appalled that there were kids saying, "Oh yeah, we get a new Xbox." The families are buying these children toys when they should be buying them shoes. And that's what's happening in this country. Now, so you borrow $14 a day to make ends meet. So then finally you get, at some point, you know, your husband dies. Okay? Or your wife dies. So you got $14. So now you get hooked up with somebody else. And the old spouse was $14 a day short, but the new spouse is $41 a day short. That's how much this administration is borrowing. The Bush administration borrowed $14 a day, and this administration is borrowing $41 a day. And this administration has got the audacity to say that this guy right here put us in the ditch. Now, if this guy wants to borrow so much money, okay, you know, if you want to borrow money for stuff you don't need, you want to borrow, you know, we might be poor, but we need a big screen TV, and we need a boat, and we need this, and we need that, and we need the other thing. And this person, in order to get that, to live that lifestyle, you got to borrow $41 a day from your family. And then you say, oh, the reason we're borrowing $41 from our family is because the husband or the wife that died already was spending $14 a day, and now we have to borrow $41 a day because we got to get things going. Well, you know what? This $41 a day plan did not work. It didn't work. Now, if somebody wants to borrow $41 a day instead of $14 a day, and they go out and they work their ass off, and all of a sudden they're bringing in more money, they're paying this off and they're paying this off, then that's fine. But when this hole just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, it's going to go to 42 or whatever, onto infinity, would somebody just wake up